Today's guest is Chrystal Tess Charles. She's a product of Turks and Caicos, Jamaican, and Vincentian heritage. Her stage name carries special meaning as it stands for the acronym Tell Someone Something, a phrase made popular by local residents who urged the public to share information with the police following the killing of 25-year-old Kezia Burke in 2013. Chrystal uses the name as a reminder of her friendship with the late Burke and to remind residents of their responsibility to be more forthcoming with information to the police. She has 10 years experience and a degree in tourism and hospitality management. She has 3 years of headlining PCI's hottest events and successfully serving as executive producer of her first jazz and soul show in 2015 of November. She decided to take a plunge and reign in 2016 as a solo performer. While she crosses the words of Nina Simone and Ella Fitzgerald, the artist's first originals are inspired by her island influences. She was featured in the 2015 summer issue of Turks and Caicos magazine and also in the 2016 summer edition of Carib magazine. She was the host of Good Morning America Turks and Caicos, a nationally televised morning show, a member of the association that produced Perform on Point. It's a singing competition that makes charitable donations to local schools, and she held the secretary post in the Musicians of the Turks and Caicos Association. Her most notable personal achievements have been bringing into existence a community of creatives through a monthly gathering called BYOC. Bring your own creativity and inspiring others into entrepreneurship. Let's welcome Chrystal Tess Charles to Pathways to Success.
Welcome to Pathway to Success. I know we've been away for 2 weeks traveling. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, and we have with us, oh my God, the most entertaining, beautiful Tess Chrystal Charles. I like that name, Tess Chrystal Charles. Maybe Tess, welcome to Pathway to Success, Tess.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here with you.
We're so happy to have you. You're so busy. You have been booked so many times, but you have been so booked on the entertainment arena that it took us just today to get you on the show.
Yes, it's been a blessing to be booked for a while, but things are slowing down a little bit, so I'm going to be a little bit more accessible to do some other things like this.
Well, that's good. Thank you so much I like your name though, Tess Chrystal Charles. I mean, who gave you that name?
Well, actually, funny enough, my name is, so I introduce myself sometimes as Chrystal Erica Joan Oriel Charles, aka right. Chrystal Plenty, middle name Charles. So my given name is Chrystal Erica Joan Oriel Charles. That's what my mother and father named me. But Tess actually came about. It's an acronym. It's an acronym for Tell Someone Something. So it was. I made a decision to change my name on a particular day in the memory of someone who I knew and loved very well, Kezia Burke, and he was slain in 2013. And yes, so the name has real deep personal meaning to me, Tess. It was the first type of like murder or anything like that I had encountered that was so brazen, so gruesome, and so close to the heart, and the whole country was shaken by it. So in an effort for witnesses to come forward, there was the acronym TESS, Tell Someone Something. And on the day of his funeral was actually the day that my career began. It was my debut performance at Miss Turks and Caicos Universe. So that night I made the decision to change my name in his memory and in an effort to always champion the cause against gun violence.
Oh, that's so good. I like that. I mean, you have a big heart and it shows the love that you have. And for you to change your name in remembrance of that young man who was slain, taken out, so viciously, it shows that you are an earth angel. How did your multicultural heritage from the Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, there's a lot of mixture right here. St. Vincent shape your musical style and artistic identity? Tell us.
Well, I'm an extremely diverse artist. So the combination of the cultures really exhibits that. I love soca music, particularly like um, power soca, fast, aggressive music, lots of drums, lots of beats, go straight to your heart. And that comes from St. Vincent and Grenada. My grandfather also has ties to Grenada, which I'm told on my father's side. So my father is from St. Vincent, and like the world over, I love all things reggae and dance hall. And I spent a lot of my time in Jamaica during, um, off times from school, growing up. My brother was born over there. We spent almost a year there. With my mom. My mother grew up in Jamaica. She was born in Turks, but her father is Jamaican, and she also spent like the first 23 years of her life in Jamaica. So
Really?
definitely, yeah, she's Jamaican.
What?
So
Where Jamaica, may I ask?
where Saint Mary, well, he was a superintendent, so they used to move around a lot.
Lieutenant Police.
But yes,
Uh-huh.
but she spent they had their house and spent most of her time in St. Mary.
St. Mary.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I've been
yeah.
to.
So, and in Turks and Cake, well, I get a lot of, I guess, from those two, a lot of the bravado and the confidence and yeah, all of that. A lot of the entertainment quality from
Right.
the deep Caribbean roots. And in Turks and Caicos, I'm a ripsaw lover and a storyteller. So we are still very much in our ripsaw, and rake and scrape is very much storytelling music. And Turks and Caicos is so diverse as well. American music was a big influence on me as well. So I'm a very diverse person. On any given day, you could come and hear a set from me, like in a hotel, and I'll mash up any genre for you.
Right.
So it gave me an appreciation too for the artistic and the professional value in each of the genres, whether it was from composition to performance. Because a lot of people, if they don't identify with the genre, they don't really understand, they don't know it, and they'll cast it aside, like to say, oh, being a DJ, it's not as prestigious as this, that, or the other. But it takes a whole different level of dedication and skill in each of them. So I have a little bit from all of those, and music was always in the house, and growing up with heavy accents and music always playing. My father's a drummer, my mom used to sing, so all of those things made me me.
Wow, I love that. That mean, I would be surprised if I see you on Reggae Song Fest, 2025. That really, really a
Well,
great.
put it out in the atmosphere. Let's see if it materializes.
Oh yeah, I can see you on Reggae Song Fest because you do calypso. I'm sure you do reggae. That I don't know if you can DJ because I heard like you mentioned, was it Mavado name you mentioned earlier on?
Oh, no, 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 no. I said the bravado, not
The
Movado.
bravado. Oh,
But
I thought you
I love
mentioned one of the
myself.
dance.
I love
I
myself some Movado. I could get real, yeah, when I'm ready. But the bravado and the confidence and the just that over overarching type of personality that you have to have in those moments when you're on the stage doing
Yeah.
what you're doing, channeling what you're channeling. Hmm.
Well, so you really, really and truly, what really inspired you to adopt the stage name? Well, you told us about that Tess. You told us
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
inspired about that. To your friend Kazera Burke, right? You told us
Yes.
about that. But I was watching your video you were just coming onto the show, and I said, "Oh my God, she can dance! Where did you learn to dance like that? I mean, those moves I saw you was just." I'm saying, "What?"
Funny enough, Miss Bennett, Miss Florence, well, I grew up with as my teacher as Miss Bennett, right? So she's
Yeah.
Jared. But Miss Florence was definitely a big part of that, because it's just a natural thing, right? We're descendants of the rhythmic people of the world. So we're
Yeah.
descendants of Africans, and we're Caribbean people, and we have that in us. However, just being in school and having someone who was who you were able to bond with and was close to the culture and who would teach you different things, that I think kind of gave me a little bit of wiggle in the hips.
I like if you have a wayward word. Oh, but you also work in the hospitality industry, right? So most of your performance, where is that done in the hospitality?
Yes, so
Industry?
I have multiple residencies at hotels here in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, um, and I've had quite a few over the years. I actually just cut down to three because I wanted a little more time, you know, kind of for myself. But I've put in this year, last year, 2023. Yeah, made 10 years performing, and then in 2026 will be 10 years of me solely as an entertainer. But I work at different hotels, you know, once a week, do about 3 hours there, that type of situation. But I was also actually in the front of house in hospitality and tourism for 10 years before.
Before that. Uh,
Yes.
so what's the response? What was the turning point that made you decide to pursue music as your sole career?
Um,
It's a good question, huh?
it is the turning point. The turning point. So I always was someone who was into music. At 7 years old, I always knew I wanted to. I said I wanted to be a singer. My mommy said, "Okay, and what else you can do?" So I entered hospitality as a young lady in high school. We had like career day, and I had a cousin actually that showed up on career day, told us about all the funny at in tourism hospitality, decided to give it a go. I moved to Providenciales, which is like the city type island, and the only place at the time they offered the hospitality and tourism courses. So I began working in a hotel, going to school, you know, doing all the thing. It came naturally. I was a shoe in. We're from Grand Turk, small place, beautiful place. We're very capable, very hospitable, very sensible, accommodating, full of manners, all of that. So it was really, really natural for me. Now, later on, as I ascended, you know, there came a lot of politics that is with just about any job that you do anyway. Um, but there was always this innate need to be on the stage for me. I would literally make karaoke my stage. We would do
Well,
Daddy Boys, and every Tuesday and Thursday, when I walk in, they would just put my name up on the thing, and I start standing up on the people tables and carrying on and all of that. It was a thing, so it never left me. Right. I ended up singing at the Miss Turks and Caicos Universe pageant, which was the springboard for my career that I didn't know yet that I was cultivating. And I stayed with hospitality for a few years after, but it became increasingly hard for me because, you know, I didn't really have a work-life balance. There's lots of politics that I wasn't into. You know, all your friends at work, you don't ever have a day off and blah, blah. But the cincher for me, it's really, really funny, actually. The cincher for me was when I found out that there were 52 weeks in a year. So I had always known there were 12 months in a year. I always know there's 365 days or 366
right.
days, never 52 weeks.
Okay.
And then I realized I have to ask somebody if I can please have two of the 52 weeks God gives me to live.
Wow.
Yeah, so that I can rest, reset, enjoy the money that I'm making, you know. Um, and they had the power to say no, and that just didn't sit right with me at all.
Yeah.
So that was madness to me. So the more, you know, it was just a changing. I'm grateful for every scene of life and all the things that I learned, because I learned how to be an entrepreneur because I got such great training and exposure and experience in the years that I was able to, you know, understand what finances were about and lead teams in hospitality and integrate with people, move over learning curves and all these things. But it did get quite miserable at the end, and I just kind of waded into the performance field. I made the decision in December 2015 to leave and become a full-time performer. No jobs, no gigs, no nothing. Just God and vibes.
I like that, God and vibes. I love that. God is vibes, right? I
Hello.
love I love that. and you step up from 2015. Where have you traveled to minister? Not to minister. Oh my, where I got that from? Because you mentioned God in it.
Right.
Where have you traveled to perform? Have you ever performed in any other islands? In the
Yes,
Caribbean?
yes. Actually, I've been to the Bahamas to perform. I've been to the Dominican Republic. That was my last year. Was my largest performance, largest private performance, where we had 1,800 patrons. In
Wow.
yeah, it was a group travel event, and they booked me for two performances, and I did two performances, a 45-minute show that I curated for them. So that was most recently in the Dominican Republic last year. And I've done Bahamas and I've done DR. I've been to New York, I performed in Amsterdam, and a couple of places now. Yeah, I'm getting around. I'm getting
You're
around.
getting around because you went to Amsterdam. I mean, and that now that is way out of the Caribbean. So I like that you're getting on the European stage. So
Yes,
that,
yes.
and definitely I'll have to pull some strings for you to perform in Jamaica too because we really love to see your performance.
Ready, man.
The Wagwan man in the Jamaican. I'm sure you can talk the Jamaican patois. But before we take a break, can you share your experience of executive producing your own first jazz and soul show in 2015 and the challenges that you
Oh my
faced?
gosh. Anxiety. I didn't know what the word was for it at that time. There was lots of nerves. It was nerve-wracking. It was so much fun. I had this idea of what I wanted to do, and really it started out as this idea to expose myself to, all of the DNCs and the you know entertainment coordinators and F&B people around the island, so that I'd be able to eventually start to do some gigs. Um and I went to I was so afraid, but I was like, let me do it. I went to ask Miss Karen Witt at the time. She was the GM for the Palms where I had it. And I was so, so, so scared. And when I finally was able to bring it to her, she was so elated. She was so happy for me, so ready to support. And that kind of gave me the confidence to be able to reach out to everyone else, to ask for sponsors, to ask friends of mine who are in the artistic community to also participate, to, get everything done. And I call myself Miss Overdue, right? So I had all kind of things in my mind. I wanted the band and we wanted the decor, and I had to do 3 outfit changes and do all the this and the that. And then I couldn't find the band. This one said they would do something and they dropped out and at the last minute, so and so. It was just but it was nerve-wracking, but it was a grand event. And it was a whole lot of work. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But we were oversold. We made a mark on Turks and Caicos as Tess. I made a mark as Tess in 2015 for sure. And, it also kind of gave a bit of prestige to my name as well, because I wasn't just I wasn't just going to veer into being a hotel performer. I put on a big show, a formal show, a sexy show, a cultured show, because it was jazz and soul and all of that. So, I think that it everything happens the way it's supposed to in my life. I just kind of let it flow, and it truly put me on the right trajectory to where I am now.
Wow, I like that. You're very you have the grace, the entrepreneur. Not you're very. What I love about you, you're very bold. You're
Yeah,
determined, and also I mean, you're not afraid to step out of the pond into the ocean.
right.
So I like that. So that for myself will tell me that you're going to big. You're going to be big. You're going to make it major. Your
Thank you.
name will be, I mean, beyond Turks and Caicos, all over the
Received,
Caribbean, into
received,
the different
received.
nations, into America. It'd be
Hmm.
great to see you streamline into the American music in North America. But what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break with Tess, and we're going to come right back on Pathway to Success.
Break and scrape, wind my waist. Break and scrape, walk up. Break and scrape, rip the saw. Break and scrape, shake, shake. Break and scrape, wind up my waist. Break and scrape, walk up. Break and scrape.
love it, love it, love it, love it. I was just soca dancing my way right in the studio, moving around. And I'm saying,
Sure.
oh my God, Tess, Crystal Charles, you're the best. I think that you should enter. I think there's a soca road show that they normally have in Trinidad and Tobago. And I love the song. Who wrote that song?
I wrote it. I wrote it.
Who wrote that
I
song? That's well
yeah, yeah, yeah.
written. Love the song. Love the vibes behind it, the beat, the dance. Man, I have to fly to Providential Island much earlier to
Eh,
come and experience your performance.
sure.
I'm
When you're
telling
ready.
you. I mean, you're the best. No, you know what? I'm coming from Jamaica. We're intertwined with Trinidad, Trinis, and all that. And I've seen a lot of soca shows and performances.
Yes, 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 definitely. Jamaica is definitely veering its way into soca very heavily.
Yes, very heavily. And so, but your performance, you're the best. You're number one.
Thank you.
I love
Thank you.
it. And I didn't know that the Turks Island did really soca because I came there, but I never knew that. I think I would hear them singing one and two. I think I heard one and two Jamaican music there, a little hip
Right.
hop, but I didn't know. So that's a good look.
You'll hear a whole lot of everything really here because we have some, particularly if you're in like Providenciales, you're going to hear a lot of everything because we have a lot of everything and everyone here.
Yeah.
So it's a mishmash of all of the cultures and all of the music and all of the things. But if you listen to that song as well, it was very it was a great hybrid type of situation because our national instrument is the saw and our national music is rip saw, which we also interchange with rake and scrape. And obviously the instrument is just a simple hand saw, and you can bend it and change the sound of it, and you use an old knife or something metal and you scrape it against it. So if you listen to that song, actually it has the saw all the way through. So it was a hybrid mishmash of a soca vibe and a soca beat, but also with rake and rip saw instruments, and obviously the colloquialisms and the wording is definitely Turks and Caicos.
Wow, I really love it. I really enjoy that. I gotta get that playing in my car while I'm
Hey.
while I'm rolling. But what motivated you to start your monthly gathering of bring your own creativity? I like that. And how did it evolve since its concept?
BYOC, right. Bring your own creativity I was so lonely as an artist, and I knew there was so many more of us out there because and artistry of all kinds, unfortunately, is not as revered and encouraged in Turks and Caicos as I would like it to be. So there are really no places to gather. There's no contest to enter. There's no mentors to watch and be on the level playing field with, and
Right.
we're so kind of bound by the society standards and expectations of the corporate life, and to be this way and to kind of give up a lot of the things that seem to be fun and extracurriculars at a certain age. We don't have those places to flourish. So I was like, all right, I got my backyard, come, let's go. And I put out a call to a lot of the other artists, and through the years, we grew from strength to strength, as we like to say here in Turks.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of participation. A lot of that video that we saw a while ago, it was shot right in my backyard, and that was
Really?
yeah,
Your backyard is huge. I
I
mean,
had well, it was actually that was my I was renting,
mhm.
and shout out to Deanne Williams. I think her birthday is very soon too, if she's watching. So she was the best landlady that I could have from 2013 to 2019, and I think in 2017 we began. So we did 2 years there. It was 2017, yeah, up until 2019 I was there, and I asked permission, and we would just have it there all the time. We'd set up because I'm an artist and I sing for a living, so I had my equipment already. I would set up my equipment. We would bring drinks and food and stuff like that, and I just wanted to give people the atmosphere that I know I needed, which
Yeah.
was to be able to express yourself freely without censorship and allow themselves to fellowship with other people like them. It was for me, and it benefited all. So that was what it was. We needed a space to be able to commune, to be able to fellowship, to be able to sharpen each other's iron, to be able to feel safe, and to be able to just be us,
Yeah.
be strange, and be different with others.
Wow.
Yeah.
The creativity, the vibes, the humor,
Hmm.
that you have, and the boldness to step forward doing what you're doing is so amazing. You're a great role model for a lot of young people coming up, really, that they should follow their dream. If you have a gift, God has given every one of us a gift. And I was saying
Right.
that earlier to someone, one of the problems we're having is that people sit on their gift. And then the
Hmm.
ones who activate and use their gift, then they're being challenged by jealousy. But you will always be on top. How does BYOC, I short it abbreviation, foster a sense of community and collaboration among local creative artists there?
Well, you know what? It's an organic coupling of persons that has spawned musical and visual collaborations. It's put lots of us in rooms and on magazines and in places that we probably wouldn't have been known and considered in before, because there are a lot of us who are all, we're multidimensional people, so we're all in different spaces. And once, if we have this one communal space, and once we go to the other spaces, we can talk about and bring each other along in these other spaces, which are corporate spaces, which are musical spaces, which are paid spaces, which are um, for exposure and all the other things. So it's been able to foster that community and collaboration, because we know how great this thing is, and we want to share it with everybody, and we want everybody else to be a part of it if they want to be a part of it. So like I said, it put us in a lot of places and rooms that we wouldn't have been known in or considered for before, and given persons a lot of validation for being like someone else
Mhm.
in all their differentness, and fostered lifelong connections, really, truly.
Any future plans for expanding this brand? And do you have any sponsors, like anyone who your partnership have come on board as partners to get this brand moving even more stronger on the island?
Not necessarily any big brands or businesses, but we do have our sponsor. Excuse me, we have the sponsor of Mangrove Bay, which is the place that allows us to host there every month. So big up to Mangrove Bay. Thank you very much. They sponsor us their space and their power,
Um,
and allow us to turn it into what we needed to, and generate the right energy in that space as well. Very accommodating. And we have had sponsors before for particular things, like during the pandemic, we've had the wine cellar as a sponsor as well. So but we don't have an actual sponsor or anything for BYOC. What I would like to do with BYOC, where I would like it to go, is to be able to, we've begun the competitions. So I want to be able to spawn excellence, make people, put their all into it, because we have it. So now we've been doing it for a few years. Okay, great. The space is here for us, and BYOC will always be BYOC in its original form. But I also want to spawn some excellence among people in some competition, so that we will be able to vie with each other and create that here, as well as be able to do it with everyone else. So if we want to, compete internationally on a stage with poets or instrumentalists or vocalists or whatever it is, that we can do that, as well as I would like to be able to host workshops and have a practice room with instruments, as well as host shows, big shows, to be the point of contact for artistry and entertainment in Turks. So I also do believe in, organic growth, though. So I want to keep, for some things, I'm quite a purist. So I would like to keep the right energy moving forward and allow fate to take its natural course as well. I have plans. However, if that's not what the plan is supposed to be, then we go with what the plan evolves into.
Now, what I like about you're so talented, so gifted, you can fit in at really anywhere with ease.
You got me that
Um,
before.
personality and everything, the joy. You carry such great joy. It's not everyone you meet on earth that has that. Because I always say that a person who can make themselves happy will be able to make others happy. A person who can't, then that would be a big problem.
Oh,
But
thank
can you
you.
discuss your role as the host of Good Morning Turks and Caicos? I like that. And how has it influenced your career and also your visibility and your community involvement?
So good morning, TCI. First of all, it was really an amazing opportunity that put me in the limelight in a different capacity. It made me a whole lot more popular with a wider audience, and also challenged me to use that natural expressive talent you were talking about in a different way. Speaking on local and international topics, working along with a more reserved, smooth type of personality in my co-host of Joanne Harvey, um, and also with another strong personality like the producers, who happens to be my god sister Amanda Miller, and one of the most accomplished ladies in media in the Turks and Caicos Islands here. Big up to sis. And she's a very, 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 very strong personality, just like me. So navigating that was an amazing character building time and skill development as well for me. Balancing being entertainment and informative and being understandable, but also being myself and not sacrificing my colloquialisms and just the way that I think and the way that I like to express myself as well as a balance. I really wished we could resurrect that, and that we had more time to go forward on that idea. It's not dead yet, but um I think that it could have definitely grown even more into such an amazing thing. But it definitely gave me the opportunity to build my skill and to learn what balance was about. And it was a wonderful experience. And I got to meet a lot of different people in the community, to see what they were doing, to ask questions about, special subjects that were like burning subjects here in the Turks and Caicos, and to make just a whole new set of friends and acquaintances and network and all those things. So it, no matter how big the world is, it's really small, and everything is about like relationships and working along with people. And there's nothing stronger and better than word of mouth. It may take a little longer, but word of mouth, once you get people to vouch for you. So being in interaction with so many different people, it moved me around in my community a whole lot more, um different from the music scene that I was on.
Oh, it's amazing. Then um, good. You sound like a person that believes in God. Like most of the people that I've interviewed from the Turks Island, that I was talking about God.
Yeah.
What religious background influenced you also? Because most of the musicians in America, if you listen to their story, their background, some of them sung in the choir at
Hmm.
church or something like that.
Hmm.
Was there any influence like that while coming up?
I think that you know God is definitely, and church is definitely, Christianity is definitely an influence. um as a child growing up, you had to go to church, you had to go to Sunday school, and my grandmother and mother always made sure, hey, get up, get ready, go to church, go to school, go to this, that, and whatever. So I can't say that I was extremely active in like the church, like the choir or anything like that, but I did do like special events, cantatas and
Mhm.
Easter this and that and whatever, all those things. I got to have a love for music from the music director, choir director, the organist, and everything. Dr. Hugh Fulford, who is part of the Methodist Church where I grew up in. Um, and I was always a talker. I didn't know then, but I know now I have ADHD, so I don't focus on nothing too long. So, but that and his playing would always capture my attention, and watching him and others, but particularly him, the love and the reverence and the joy and the seriousness in which he sung and he played and he instructed others to do so, it was definitely, it always is in the forefront of my mind when I do anything, and that's part of my performance influence. So definitely from in church was we are all the sum of all of our experiences, right? I don't necessarily have the quintessential, I started off in the church situation, but because again, this hot Caribbean blood I got inside of me, I did like to be outside and pitch about and carry on and whatever. But I am definitely a believer in God, and I was definitely influenced by the church quite a bit as I was growing up, and still am. I have such I've been delving into the life of choirs right now, and just exploring the showmanship and the mesh in which they have to exhibit to give such a deep feeling,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
hmm So
Uh, wow. That the reason why I asked that question because, as I said before, so many popular artists
yes,
globally that are famous. Whitney Houston, this one,
yeah,
Prince,
yeah, yeah,
other people. You find that there's always some church influence
yeah. Of
behind
course.
your music, and they rose from there.
hmm
But another thing that you did, which I thought was really commendable of you, is that you partnered with the Department of Mental Health
hmm
to share your personal story
Yes.
um, of sexual and alcohol abuse,
hmm
which impact your advocacy work. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I've always been my biggest and sometimes only advocate, really, but partnering with the Department of Mental Health gave me a chance to impact those who could not yet find, the bravery and the confidence to come out and say anything. Allow those who feel hidden or uncared for to feel seen, and allowed me to connect with other people who are hurting, or as well as school so many who look at these things as just a regular occurrence. I've had people say to me, I had no idea this was a thing. I didn't, you just see people drinking, or you see people having fun, or you hear that something is wrong with so and so, you see certain behavior and you don't know what it stems from, and whatever. And we really, we kind of judge people based on that, but we have no idea what circumstances brought them to the behaviors that you see them exhibiting. So I'm happy that I was able to tell my story, browse across it, and make myself available for people, to just understand where I'm coming from, as well as most recently, it was in April, I think, the AOL Foundation, Aaron Lewis of South Caicos invited me over to speak to the ladies, and that was the first time that I told the in-depth stories of both the sexual abuse that I went through and the alcoholism that followed. Because after that, I was sexually assaulted, and I couldn't sleep because I was broken in on and all these things. I couldn't sleep for 6 years, and I would go
Okay.
to work. I would go to work and I would go home to 2 bottles of wine and I would go sleep, or I would go out, stay out. I was in the bar, I was going to the parties and everything, blah blah blah, and I would drink and drink and drink and drink and drink, which is in Caribbean culture, it is so normal, anyways. You know, I'd just drink and drink and drink and drink until I was drunk enough to go home and pass out and sleep. because
Right.
I just couldn't sleep. And it was also, regulating my nervous system and putting things behind whatever. So, but one of the things that has always been a great force for me was expression. We hold things up in our chest, that'll kill you.
Hmm.
So I've always been very expressive, and I, even if I feel apprehensive about it, you know, I still have to put in my mind that I'm not to be embarrassed. I didn't cause anything on myself. This is nothing to be ashamed of. I am not less valuable because of the things that have happened to me. And I want other people to know that. And people who don't know that and who didn't know the story and who found out and see me as this big personality and this vivacious person and this, in the community, moving around happy and inspiring people and doing this and doing that, they couldn't believe that these things had happened to me. We are the sum of the way that we handle the things that happen to us, not necessarily just the things that happen to us. So being able to partner with the Department of Mental Health, there are so many people who reached out to me directly, and so many people who have been impacted and been able to speak and been able to seek help. I'm a big advocate for therapy as well. Big up my therapist. I've been going to for over 2 years now, maybe. And it helps so much. There's a difference. You can confide in family, and you must also seek comfort and guidance from God and whoever it is in your religion that you practice. you know but having a professional assist you and show you the ways in which your trauma is manifesting, and ask you questions that will lead you to be able to purge as well as to change certain things, that that is so needed, and you can't substitute it. So big up to the therapists, big up to Department of Mental Health. And I just want everybody to know, you're valuable and beautiful and worthy, no matter what traumas you've been through or you're going through. And every single day that you get up, you have another chance to chip away at the bad things and build stepping stones to the good things. You have a great outlook on things, and carry on. So yeah, that has definitely put me in a different light again within the community. And I'm very happy that I'm able to help and give people a voice, as well as, even if they don't want to say anything, they can see, hey, it's not only me.
I like that. I like that. Very strong aspiration. Very strong, strong.
Yeah,
Uh, you have been through it, but you have kept the smile on your face and you're winning big.
absolutely.
Um, what advice would you give to aspiring musicians and entrepreneurs about turning their passion into a sustainable, a musical career?
uh
Maybe I could become a musical artist like you. You may never know.
so my,
I
my
like that one. So
who knows, maybe when you come down here, I got a mic for you.
you need to.
I
Then
have
I'm
the
going to
mic for you.
surprise you. Now that's when you're going to be wonderfully surprised.
I have the mic.
Let's do this.
I won't,
Let's do
trust me,
this.
I ain't gonna be surprised. You Jamaican. I already,
Let's
now
do
you
this.
gotta
That's
tell him
when you're going to be surprised, though.
WNEA. So, but yeah, we will shell down when you get here.
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward for it. It's going to be
Yeah,
a
man.
great time. I
Yes,
can tell you
I
that.
believe that. Um, so I've been asked these things, and I've had younger aspiring artists come to me, and I'm able to give them pointed advice and information on certain areas and certain things, and I'm happy to always do that. However, the overarching thing about advice for me is, my advice is not to follow advice. Take away the noise of
Your advice is not to
everyone.
follow advice. That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
because
funny. What?
it is funny. Like I said, if you have, I think that people need to make up their minds as to who they are and where they want to go and where they want to be, and allow, as like I said, organically, for life, fate, your dreams and your dream world to become your reality, and allow yourself to go along with it. Because I can give you advice from my vantage point for my journey, and that may not stick with you. That may not be what you need, what you want, where you should be going, where you're going to be comfortable. And there's nothing like experience. Of course, you can try things, and then, you can pivot and change course and all these things. And, the more you learn, the more you know. However, I'm a person, and I am so grateful. I was talking about this with friends today. I'm so, so grateful for my mother and my father, who, while they gave me structure and instructions, they left me wild, right? So I was still able to hear my inner voice, that I follow that gut feeling, and hear the God voice that is within all of us, as
Wow.
to what are our gifts and how we should use them and what feels right and where to go and this, that, and the other. If we listen to ourselves a whole lot more, then I think that we will take a lot of the guesswork out of meandering about in life and where we're going to go. So that's my thing. I take away the noise of everyone and everything and focus on your inner voice, that God voice, that ancestral voice. Allow yourself to be led on the path that you're supposed to walk. Know that nothing is a failure, and every day you could start over. Work throw away shame. Work to do that. Throw away shame so it doesn't hinder you, and respect upbringing and traditions while not being dismayed and trapped by them. That's, set your own value. Work from there. You people are going to win. You decide what is success. You decide what's winning. So once you do that, it'll allow you to be in the presence of those who will help you organically, who will love you organically, who will enjoy you, who will uplift you. But always be on the journey to find and listen and to better yourself. That's my advice on being able to build something that's sustainable, because I look at it from my vantage point is, to be sustainable, I have to be happy. We can keep on doing things over and over and burn ourselves out and not be good at it anymore, or not have that. The whole point of taking your passion and your gift and making it into a career is so that you don't have to work a day in your life, as the saying goes. So if you're not happy, and if you're not growing, if you're not changing, if you're not, and you're just kind of going by these rules, then just go get a regular job. That's my take on it. I'm sure there are many, 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 many others, and I think that everybody has a worthy contribution to this type of discourse, but that's where mine is. And not everyone is the gypsy type of thinker that I am, but that's what I have. My advice is to seek out yourself first, so let me not say not follow advice, so what advice to follow then. Maybe
Right.
that's better.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What a great interview. I want to thank you so much for inspiring us, Tess Chrystal Charles, on Pathway to Success, and sharing with us your great wow story to success. A young woman who stepped out boldly, I like, against all odds, and chose to pursue music. Music is not easy for anyone to rise to be successful. I live in the United States of America. Yes, from a little Caribbean island. I don't think it's all that small anyway, which you know where I'm from. But yes, but I've seen many, 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 many stepped out in music, and they have not really made it. But today, you're all marked in your nation, and you make your nation proud and the Caribbean proud. I want
Thank
to
you.
thank you so much, Tess, for sharing this amazing career path that you have walked. And we're looking forward to seeing you in person and you giving me that mic when I get there,
It's
Providential
there
Island.
for you. I want to thank you so much, and everyone who had a part in putting this together. Thank you so much for giving me this platform, for honoring me with this space and allowing me to speak freely. And I am looking forward to more and more shows, and
Yes.
getting the stories of everyone else who, who have paved their own pathways to success. Thank you so much for having this platform for us to speak, and, to give life, love, and inspiration to others. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Tess. Thank you. And in closing, always remember God has put a gift in each and every one of us. All you need to do is believe in yourself and
Mhm.
you'll come out on top. Have a great week from us here, Pathway to Success.
Absolutely.